Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to the shift. I hope you guys can hear me well. I'm here with the wonderful Antonia Garcia, the founder and creator of TREEHUGGERS, a amazing small business, which you guys are going to hear a lot about. And without further ado, please introduce yourself.
Hello, I'm Antonia. I'm the founder and creator of TREEHUGGERS, which is basically, this is like a super small business. Like, it's literally just me. And I just do a lot of jewelry with crystals and stones because, I don't know, I love them. I think they carry such nice energy. They're really pretty. They come from the earth. And they tend to be pretty unique pieces because I make everything by hand and it's all kind of, I don't know, it's got cool shapes and stuff.
Hell
yeah.
So are these some of the crystals that you made?
Yeah, so these are some of the crystals. I actually have one on right now. So this is one of them.
Dope.
And then I use all different types of crystals. I use different types of wire, earrings as well. But my specialty is necklaces. And yeah, a lot of my necklaces come also with some, all of them come with like an adjustable necklace strand. So it's nice if you want to make it like a choker, if you want to make it long, you can use it even as a belt if it works for you. There's so many options. So I love this little handy dandy trick.
So you made that too?
Yeah, I make everything. So
okay.
I just learned the knot and boom.
Nice. So I did not know that she had a business. I was at this Arboretum plant sale and I was like surprised. So how long have you had this business for?
I think it's been around a year now, a little bit over probably.
Nice.
Yeah, I started it during the pandemic.
Yeah.
Because I was really bored and I love crafts. I've been making crafts my entire life since I was probably 7 years old. So I was like, you know what? Let me try something new. Started doing it, thought I was really good at it. So I just started selling them and seeing if it went anywhere and started doing pretty good. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna continue.
Yeah. And you have paintings too?
Oh yes, I also have do some prints and stuff. Those are more of a casual thing for me because I just paint for fun. It's just a me thing. But yeah, I sell them at plant sales or whenever I'm doing more pop-up shops.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Have you ever sold at a farmer's market?
No, I've sold at a cafe and stuff. I don't know if you remember Lord Mara Krishna. No, that's okay. So I met someone from Hare Krishna. Yes. Because that's how we met, through Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, baby. We'll get into that.
and yeah, I got invited to one of their little pop-up things, and so I went to the cafe and I set up and
was it Binks?
Yes, at Binks.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Binks
it's a great place.
Spot.
You should go if you're in Orlando.
Definitely go to Binks. Okay, so we did meet at Hare Krishna. Do you still chant? Are you still following the mantra?
I don't, but I do chant just in general. I don't always chant the mantra in itself, though I love that mantra. It's a great mantra. I should get more back into it. But I really like this album. It's by I think it's Ranki Shakta, something like that. It's produced by George Harrison though. And it's chants of India, so they do a bunch of different chants and stuff. So my favorite one goes Bapuji. Anyway, so yeah, so I kind of do those type of chants, lots of ohms, lots of shantis. But
I don't do as much as I used to do at Hare Krishna. I mean, when everybody left, it wasn't the same.
Yeah,
they still do Thoughtful Thursdays. I saw people at UCF today. Some people that used to go to Hare Krishna, and they were chanting.
Oh my gosh, that's so nice.
They evolved too, dude. Some of the people that were beginners, they now have the piano and everything.
No, wait, what was it called? The melodica.
Yeah.
Was it melodica or harmonium?
Yeah, I think so.
Or something like that.
I couldn't tell you.
But that's so cool. I love that instrument. If you haven't heard it, you gotta search it up. Because it's literally such a majestic sound if it's played right. I tried once and it sounded god awful. It was terrible. that.
I remember like I started getting more into like Hare Krishna, and I was playing the drums in front of people and everything. It was fun.
Really?
But I just like stopped out of nowhere. You know, like I just
from going, or
yeah.
I feel that. I kind of just, I don't know, I think that it was a very vital time. I think for both of us, like when it was like during like so like the kind, not the midst of the pandemics, but we were like in the middle end.
Yeah.
Well, we're not technically not at the end, but you feel me? Like we're kind of like easing out of the whole like quarantining and stuff like that. And I think it was just a nice place for people to go to do something like, I guess, more social, but it was still like relatively like small grouped, and you were doing something super wholesome, like with like these people that you didn't really know, but you got to know. And like, I mean, personally, I wasn't trying to party at that time or anything like that. So, I mean, honestly, I'm not trying to do that anymore either. But at the time specifically, like, obviously, I didn't want to go out and like put myself into like crazy, like chaotic social scenes because I hadn't been in that for like a whole year.
Yeah.
So it was a nice way to ease myself kind of like back into like this normal world, but in a beautiful way that like raised me energetically.
I think one of the reasons I really enjoyed it, not only like learning how to meditate and learning how to sing in front of people,
yes,
which I was nervous about. I know we were doing that.
It was like, it took one time I was just like, this sounds so much better when I actually sing it loud. Like, fuck it. So then one day, I switched the knot, switch the flip, and
flip the switch.
I flipped the switch, and I just started like actually singing it like for real, and it felt so much better. And no one cared, no one judged me. Like it was just great. And I know my friend told me once, he's like, once you started singing like that, I was just started singing like that too, because I was like, why not? I want to be loud, like, because the louder that you are, the more like the higher the frequency is going to be in the room. So
I think one of the reasons that it was important to go was like we were talking about before we started, like when the pandemic happened, we kind of like lost that sort of community, and like being around all those people, it like helped bring that community in.
Definitely.
So I want to ask, like, how do you think like the pandemic has inspired you to like continue this and like build a community of people that support like natural remedies to like material problems?
I think that, I don't know, like for me, just being able to sell a piece of jewelry to someone and actually being able to like interact with the person, because sometimes you have to do online stuff, which is great, but it's personally, I think it's so much better when you're actually there in front of the person, talking to the person, like seeing their face when they choose one that they want, like the going in, like, should I not, should I? And then they're like, I must do it.
Yeah.
It's like, and just the interaction, they get to feel your vibe, you get to feel their vibe. It really like, and it's an easy thing to kind of like have a common ground in, because you're selling something to them, and you're offering your product, and if they're interested in your product, there's already kind of like something that's, I don't know, the vibes are kind of already like it's like melding, established, and then you can like talk either about, you know, that you'll either be interested in crystals or maybe in art, or it'll be someone that maybe isn't into that stuff but is interested about it. So you can really start getting into more of like a, you know, like more thoughtful and more real conversation rather than talking about like, I guess, more like superficial stuff.
Yeah. Do you think the pandemic has affected the way people like shop? Because I know like I feel like online shopping is kind of like diminishing the desire people have to go out, you know? Like it's important to continue to like go out and experience things, and like like things like that, like support people that are like trying to set themselves up, you know. But now with the pandemic, everybody's just like shopping online, and you're not really like, you don't need to go out anywhere.
That's so true. I mean, it definitely has, because like, well, we've been shopping online for so long, but you know, I think everyone during the pandemic went on a shopping spree. They're all like, let me order everything to give me some sort of dopamine and some sort of serotonin, because I can't handle like what's going on right now, like being home, like what 70-80% of my day. So
Yeah.
I definitely think that it has affected that. So like I think that's why I probably like started more like online stuff, like on Instagram and stuff, because I knew I'd likely have like more frequent of like I don't know, like an influx, I guess. But I don't know. I still find it so much better to like be able to go out and not only like look at a bunch of things that you would like, because Google either caters it to you, or you're only searching up like jean jacket, and then you'll search up jean jackets because you know you want a jean jacket. But you're not going to see, oh, I really don't like this clothes, or this type of clothing, or this pattern, or something like that, because you're searching catered to your needs rather than just like going out into the world of everything and making those decisions for yourself.
Yeah. I think the one thing though that I have been like interested in and I enjoyed talking about in Hare Krishna was like materialism. Because I feel like even though, like you said, with the pandemic, like people were going outside more, it feels like we started relying on external forces to like bring us happiness instead of like tuning into our own self and like seeing what our body needs. We kind of just like hope that whatever we get is going to make us happy.
Definitely.
You know?
Definitely. And I think that that's just I don't know, it can be a cool thing to experience, but I don't think that that should be like the essence of how you feel at all times. Like personally, I've just always like believed that like you can find all of the feelings within yourself as long as you go to work for it though. So it makes it a bit harder to achieve and reach, but once you get to that point, it's more long lasting than like, let's say you get like a skirt or a pair of pants that you really like. And then, you know, you'll look at them and you'll be like, these pants make me so happy. I love wearing them. But then you're going to have them for like 3 months or something, or not even, like you'll have them for a week and then they'll just get old again. And it's just going to like blend into your closet again. It's not going to be like something that stands out, you know? Because like I know I've experienced that before.
Yeah, I do too. That's one thing I'm the author of that book, Day the World Stopped Shopping, like talked about at one point. It's kind of like our society. We buy things to wear them once, and then once they've been worn, it's like, okay, like now I need to buy something else to like stand out. And we just like everything that we own, we just like push to the side and just like build it up. I mean, like I'm a hypocrite. Like
you got so many shirts.
I know.
But I feel that my closet's also just like boom, like it's just about to pop. but I don't know. I do try to like be conscious of that and like be like, okay, do I really need this shirt that I have in 5 other colors or something like, or like that I have a different pattern in or something like that. Like I kind of just, I'm a little bit more selective, I guess, now with stuff, especially, I don't know, like, you know how thrifting is like a huge thing now, which is amazing because we love upcycling clothes and more sustainable like methods of like, getting clothes. But it also, okay, I was having this conversation with my friend the other day because I remember when we started like thrifting, we would buy everything that we liked. We were like, oh, $2, yes, $4, yes. So we would spend like $60-$80 at the thrift store. Crazy. I know, crazy at a thrift store. Imagine the amount of clothes that we got. But now we're like more conscious when we go to the thrift store, like have some things in your mind that you are like maybe more so like looking out for. And don't entirely fall in love with every single thing that you find that you think is cute, because you gotta like cross-reference a little bit. Look at the different options. Feel the energy of the clothes. Feel the texture and the like fabric of the clothes. Like what is really gonna work in your lifestyle? And
like conscious consuming.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I think that's something I really learned about in like Hare Krishna, but also like through reading, was like like if you turn on the TV and you like even I don't know if you heard about what's happening in Ukraine.
Yes.
But like there was CNN was covering it, and like there was a video of the sirens going off in Ukraine at like 6 a.m.
Oh my God.
And it's like Putin's attacking Russia, and then it transitions to an Applebee's ad. And it's just like,
oh my God, that's just not the time and place.
I know, you know, but like we're constantly being bombarded with all these like items and places to go and things to purchase, and we expect like that's what's going to make us happy, you know. but I don't know. Do you think those things like do make us happy, or do you think it's kind of like we're tricking ourselves into thinking like the psychological impact of putting, I've done this, like putting all your eggs into like one material basket, and like once I get this, it's gonna be all I need. I'm gonna be happy.
Yeah.
And then you get it and you're just like, well, now
what? Next thing
Next
that I
thing.
want.
Yeah.
Oh, well, now I actually need a new Apple Watch. I think that the sense of happiness that we feel is real, but I think it's just like the extent of it, or like maybe just the way that we achieve it is like more artificial than what we would achieve, let's say, if like we started doing exercise or we were playing guitar. And I do think that there are material items that maybe in themselves don't bring happiness, but the act of using them can bring you happiness. Like getting a guitar, like getting instruments, or getting like paintbrushes and paint and a canvas so you can paint on, or getting a microphone so you can make podcasts, or anything like that. Like it's things that maybe are like more supplements to getting to happiness, rather than it's the thing that's going to make me happy, because it's still something that you have to do, but it's using something.
Yeah, a creative recreation.
Exactly. Creative recreation. I think those are the items that could really make you happy.
Yeah.
But like just throwaway stuff. I mean, also environments are really important, I believe. Like minimalism is cool and all, could not be me. I need to have colors all over the place.
I'm trying. I'm building it up a little bit.
You got a good setup going on though. Like your room, I think, should establish like how you want to feel like at home. Like in your safest place is in your room. Or at least I hope it is. Like I think that's what it should be. Like you're like the place where you live, the place where you spend so much time, the place that you sleep. Like I think it should carry you and your character in a way,
should like resemble you.
Exactly. So like for me, I love colorful things all over the place. So my room has colorful things all over the place. And I knew and I know that if I was like missing some of the stuff in my room, I'd be perfectly fine. But if I was missing all of the stuff in my room, I'd be like, holy crap, I can't live in here. Like it's too empty. It's too blank.
Yeah.
So
we make fun of my roommate because like his bathroom's just like a white wall.
Oh,
like,
interesting.
It's like a panic room every time you go in there. It's like, I can't.
No, I wouldn't be able to just stare at a white wall.
But speaking of paintings, did you bring any?
No, I completely forgot.
Oh.
Yeah, I was thinking too much about the necklaces, and it just slipped my mind.
Well, if you want to see paintings, Instagram. I'm so sorry.
Oh, it's okay. At TREEHUGGERS by AG.
Yes.
I don't post too many of my prints there, but I think I'm going to start and just like photocopying it, and even just putting it like, because I like to not only put like my jewelry up, but I like to put like I don't know, like small things about my life, like tiny, like I don't really like to share things on social media, but like once you talk to me, I'll be like blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
But like on social media, I just kind of like to keep it a little bit more like private, and
me too.
Just like I'll share some photos, but like if you see like this Instagram is my only Instagram. I don't even have a personal one, and this is like it's mostly like necklaces, pictures of nature, maybe pictures of my friends. Every once in a while, like a photo of me, or things that I like, things like that. You know, it's when I do remember to post, because I forget sometimes too. But it's I like to incorporate like I don't know, maybe even like things that I write or something like that to post. So it kind of just adds the general vibe of like what like the company, the business is. Just it's me, you know, like that's what it is. It's like all of my creative juices like put into this one like project. So that's why I didn't call it like TREEHUGGERS jewelry, or like TREEHUGGERS necklaces or something like that, because I didn't want to like bind myself to just one thing. I wanted to be able to like use TREEHUGGERS as like a means for whatever I wanted to do. If one day I want to make clothes, if one day I want to just sell my paintings or necklaces, or if I want to sell freaking water bottles, like anything. Like I know that it's just something that encompasses Antonia.
Why the name TREEHUGGERS? You gotta hug trees?
You gotta hug trees. I'm an aggressive tree climber. Like like I cannot, like I need to be climbing trees at least. I need to climb at least one tree a month is my minimum, because there's something about it that feels so good. Like it's kind of scary, especially once you start getting high up.
Yeah.
But it's so cool, like to be able to use like this natural structure as like a giant ladder to get
That's
to the top
true.
of it, and you get to, I don't know, you kind of feel like a bird, and you're just like surrounded in the trees. You're getting lots of oxygen because you're in the midst of all the leaves and everything, and I don't know, it's just,
I haven't climbed a tree in a while. Now that you're talking about it,
you should climb a tree.
I'm lacking. I'm lacking in my tree climbing.
Slacking.
Yeah.
You gotta climb a tree. You just gotta find the right tree.
You know any good trees around here?
The other day I climbed a tree at the arboretum, at the big arboretum, the natural
Dude,
ones.
I love the arboretum.
Me too.
Like
It's
the one on,
amazing.
were you talking about the one on campus or like the bigger one?
The bigger one.
Okay.
It's like right, like once you walk in, there's like this bench, and then there's this tree right in front of it, and that's one of the last trees I climbed. That was a pretty good climbing tree. But I mean, there's a decent amount of oak trees and stuff around. In like Lake Eola downtown area, there's a lot of really nice climbing trees. You just gotta scope the right one. Cause like, I mean, I'm not like a pro. Like I'm not gonna like, you know, I don't have a lot of upper arm strength. So like, I'm not just gonna like do a pull up and like pull myself up to like a super high tree. But I can kind of like, you know, like if I find a little step,
you can maneuver yourself around.
Exactly. It's more about like agility and like finding the right footstep, footsteps to push yourself up.
I love that.
Yeah.
No,
so that's why I call it tree huggers.
Now I'm inspired to go climb a tree.
You should. It'll change your life.
My friend's reading a book apparently, or like my friend's reading a book. Rocky. I don't know if you remember Rocky from Hare Krishna.
No.
But she's reading a book about how trees communicate with each other.
Cool.
And you'll see like a tree. Let's say there's like one lone tree in the middle of a field. Like it's not as like satisfied with what's its surroundings, because there's not all the trees around it. So when there's all these other trees around it, all these roots like intertwine, and the trees can kind of connect with each other, and then in a way like communicate on like a subliminal rooting level.
Yeah.
And it's really interesting.
That's super cool.
Really cool to learn about. That's why in a forest, like there's so many trees, is because they kind of branch off of each other. You know, like nobody planted those trees. They just like kind of expand and expand and expand
within themselves. It's really cool. I love nature.
Trees.
I love trees. This is, I don't know, there's something like they're so intelligent and wise, and like things that they do. Like I'm pretty sure I kind of heard about that like communication thing, and I'm pretty sure what happens sometimes is that, let's say like there's one tree, and then it somehow like a branch came off and it was propagated into like the same, it's a what is it, like an identical copy basically of that tree, but obviously it's going to grow different, but it's like genetically an identical copy. Or let's say like it's like one of it comes from like one of the seeds of the tree or something like that. The trees, like if one of the trees, like let's say like the baby tree or the mama tree, one of them has like some sort of like pest issue, or I'm pretty sure it might even happen between all types of trees. Don't quote me on that one though. You're
a tree hugger. I need to quote you on that.
They like send signals and nutrients to each other to try to
that's
fight
what the book is
off
saying.
the pests. Like that's just so interesting. Like they're actually helping each other out. Like it's like a little community, but it's so low key. Like you don't even know that it's really happening.
That's one thing I never really considered, like growing up. Like high school me was so different than the way I am now.
Oh, I agree.
But I think when I started like meditating more and getting more in tune with like my surroundings and nature, I started to understand that like trees and plants and grass, like it's all life. You know, like when a tree dies and decays, it's just like a banana, or it's just like a human body. You know, like it withers away and becomes something else. You know, like it can either go into the ground and become something that the worms eat, and then spread to whatever else it had, like the energy is manifested into. But like all the, like when you're walking in a forest, there's an abundance of like life and community around you that you never really consider, you know, because you think of life as like something moving or something mobile, but it still exists. You know, like those trees are all like exerting energy and reaching for the sun. They're all competing to like get as much sunlight as possible. And I find that like utterly fascinating.
It's a real shift in mentality, like that type of shift. Because for me, it was the same thing. Like I wasn't really like that big of a nature girl when I was younger because I grew up in a city. So like
Me too.
I guess like like oh tree blah blah, but it's not the same level of a connection to it as to let's say maybe once you get older and start really like let's say you learn that everything that is like biotic is like truly alive
Yeah.
in some way, like it is alive, like even though it doesn't move or doesn't talk or isn't like a human, it still is alive. It's a being that is wants to survive and to
Yeah.
reproduce and has like its own like I don't know, like almost even like their own personalities, like with plants and stuff. Like I have a bunch of plants, and it's crazy to see like the little type of personalities that they have, the things that they attract, the ways that they move, the ways that they grow, the amount of water that they want. Like it's all so specific to the plant, even if they're the same types of plants. So it is a very curious thing to think about, and that shift in I think that shift in mindset makes you a lot more of like an empathic person and makes you a lot more like I don't know, I guess like open to other people's like feelings and like to to your actions because you're aware that what you're doing is going to have some sort of an impact. Like whatever I'm doing, let's say right now, will have an impact on you. Or like if I go and litter, it's gonna have an impact on the tree that I litter, like that I threw that like water bottle by or something like that. Like every like my actions do have consequences, whether they're good or they're
The
bad.
energy is exerted into the universe.
Exactly. And everything is gonna like suck it up. Like if they're gonna suck up my energy or they're gonna feel my energy, and that's what I'm kind of basically mostly what I'm gonna get back. So I like that mindset change where you're just more in tune with everything in life and everything.
During the pandemic, I talked about this in Hare Krishna. I was like going into my backyard more than I ever was. Like when I was a kid, I was always playing video games. But when the pandemic happened, I would go out in my backyard and I would see lizards or I would see an ant pile or bees or wasps. But when I would look at the lizard, I was saying to myself, this is two species like aware of each other, looking face to face, interacting. Like if I were to put my hand near it, it would run away. Definitely. Because of like it knows I exist, but if it would walk in the grass because the grass won't really react to it. But like when you're a human and like you see all these other species, like it just kind of reminds me to say like I'm not really alone. Like these things also are afraid of me, like a spider. Like spiders are just as scared of you as you're probably scared of the spider.
Definitely even more.
Yeah,
like,
I know. Like
womb.
we probably look like fucking gods to them. Like just like these massive
so large.
beings. Yeah, like imagine a slipper just like, rah, and you're like, oh, fuck.
Shit. I guess this is the way I go.
Dying by an Adidas slipper.
Oh my god. A slide to be exact.
A slide. A flip flop.
A flip flop. I would hate to die by a slipper or by a flip flop. Do not kill me with a freaking slide. I would be. At least kill me with like a cowboy boot or something. But I feel that is a really cool thing to like experience and to even think about. Like even when you're at your lowest low, like you can just be like, you can go out into nature and like even if the bird flies away because you're there, like at least you knew you were there.
Yeah, it acknowledged that you are a present being.
And it feels good. Or like even just like watching like ants like do their thing, like I don't know. I love how smart everything is, and like we like kind of like undermine it because we're just like, oh, because they can't speak or they haven't developed the way that we have, like to the point where we're like building all over the place and whatever. And like no, like they're so smart. They have their own like adaptive qualities that are beneficial for their lifestyle, for their environment, like we've just adapted to basically every single environment, but like it's not even like our bodies that have adapted, it's us that have brought forth like maybe our brains more so have adapted, and then we've like created like security blankets, like houses. I call like a house like I feel like it's a security blanket because it's kind of just like like that's why we sleep in tents and stuff when we go camping. Like you can just sleep outside, but why do you sleep in a tent? Because you feel safe and like it
feels secure.
inside place, or maybe like just when we were like cavemen and stuff, we were living in the caves, so
Mhm.
maybe we always just wanted like a shelter.
Shelter.
But you know, like they're just like living free and in like in harmony with nature, which is such a beautiful thing. Like I think that's even wiser than us like being like building all over the place and like slowly ruining her sadness.
Speaking of like, I don't know, I don't remember exactly what the point you made was, but I had something I wanted to say. And it was like basically like the nature that exists, it really is intelligent. You know, like you were saying, that's what you were saying. Like I was at the pool a while ago with my friends, and there was a lizard trying to catch a bug, like a little fly, and I was watching it, and it was like aiming at it for so long, and it jumps like in like a split second, it catches a fly.
Oh my god, thank God it catch it.
You know?
Yes.
And it's those things where you're just like amazed, because like those are the same traits that a cat has when it sees a lizard. And those are the same traits that humans might have if they saw like a cow back in the day. Now we're kind of losing that instinct, that natural instinct that exists. Like it's fascinating, like watching this thing like jump and like catch it. And then I saw another one, and it was watching this fly on my friend's slipper, and it was aiming at it, and then it jumps and the fly zooms away. Like it was like these instincts are built into these species to fight and like to feed and like to fuck and to all these other things. Like it's like three main things, but it's just so interesting that they all have these like
qualities.
Yeah.
And like basically every single like species has it in one way or another, like whether it be like fighting to get food or fighting to not become food or whatever it is. Like you're still like you just you know what you need to survive, and you're just all you're trying to do is to survive and to reproduce. And it's really like cool. Like they literally like I don't know, like nature naturally chooses the right genes and the right adaptations to fit its environment for the most part. I mean, obviously, like it depends, you know, it's not all perfect, but for the most part, like it tries to suit its environment the most it possibly can. And it's like there's so many different complex ways of it like happening, like through different like I don't know, just like through different like survival like mechanisms, whether it be like camouflage or I don't know, like what is it, like dispersion, illusion, whatever. I just learned all this shit in my ecology class. So I'm like, hey, let me tell you my facts. I got an exam on Tuesday.
Me too. I have an exam on Tuesday.
Oh, I gotta love a good Tuesday.
Yeah, we're gonna pass that shit.
Yeah, we're gonna pass that shit because we're educated people. Yes, we are.
Before we started, we were also talking about your travels, and I wanted to really ask about where you've been.
Okay. I've been a lot of places, to be honest. I've been really, really lucky to be able to travel around. But I'm just gonna like say my mains. So which I would consider more so like not traveling with my family, more so just traveling either with myself or with my friends. So I've done like solo, with my friends I went to Mexico, which was really fun. It was more chill. It wasn't anything too crazy.
No
like
margaritas?
Lots of margaritas.
Oh, you already know.
Lots of margaritas. And yeah, it was like a senior trip. And then we also went to Hawaii, which was beautiful.
That was last year?
Yeah, that was last summer. And
were you woofing?
Yes, I was woofing. So woof is like a work exchange program where you work on different farms, and basically just like depending on the farm that you stay at, you do different things. And whatever.
So you were staying on a farm, you didn't have to pay for the housing? What was it like?
And they also gave us food there, which was great. It was amazing. Personally, I thought it was a beautiful experience. My friends had their ups and downs with it. I just realized that I'm a full-on farm girl when I was there. Like I knew that was the life that I wanted, like forever. So that was really cool to like experience and like know like I can actually do this, because I had never done like hard labor in my life.
So like what was the labor like?
Well, we were staying at a family farm, so it was like a little bit more like I would say like chill. Like we weren't necessarily trying to meet like requirements for sale or anything like that, because it wasn't anything like super large scale. But we were doing a lot of like tasks, like miscellaneous things like for the farm.
So we did hella weeding. I learned how to use a tractor. I glued fur onto a fake gorilla. It was like a life-size silverback gorilla, and I glued fur onto it. We would like sometimes we would clean the house. We would feed the chickens, yada yada, just things like that. But like before that time, I never even used a shovel in my life. I learned how to use a chainsaw. We made a pool deck. We were doing we moved a tree, like.
But it was only like 5 hours a day.
So that's the thing with WOOF. You have to be like, at least I think from our experience, is that you have to be really like I don't know, kind of like carry yourself with some like strength, and like not let yourself be like too wishy-washy, and not let yourself be like too people pleasy to the point where you're kind of allowing yourself to get taken advantage of. Because it is a position where you can like easily get taken advantage of, because you are like working in exchange of a home and like sometimes food, and for the most part food, just I guess just then. And it's just, and like since you're living with the people, you don't want to upset them, like you want to make sure that everything goes like smooth, and you want to make sure like that the dynamic stays well. But for us, like we started working 9 to 3, and then slowly it started turning 9 to 4, and then it started turning 9 to 5, and then 9 to 6, and we were like, come on, like we're gonna have 1 hour of daylight, and we're in Hawaii. Like I understand that we came here to work because we knew that, and we were good fucking workers. Like the fact that we had never used a shovel in our life, but we were like going at it in the summer sun in Hawaii, like on the equator, like it was hot, and we were working our asses off. And it was just like we tried to talk about like changing our times, because we also wanted to explore. Like we knew we had to work, but we also knew that we went there to travel, to experience Hawaii, to be able to go to the beaches and meet people and go surfing and, you know, do Hawaiian things. So like it was just,
sounds like so much fun.
It was an amazing time. But like if you're going to WOOF, I always recommend saying like establishing the rules at the beginning. What are our work times? What do you expect from me? What are the jobs? Will you have a list for me in the morning, like to things to get done? Because like that, you like they know how serious you are, and you can hold yourself accountable to a level, and then they can also hold yourself accountable. Like they can hold themselves and you accountable to a level, rather than it just kind of like being like kept thrown on you until it's like the end of the day, and then. But
that's cool.
It's a
cool.
great learning experience.
I want to do that.
You really should. I highly recommend. Like tending to the land is such a unique experience when you're like staying at a place, and it also allows you to stay so much longer, which is really because like you really get to like.
How long were you there?
Well, we were working on the farm for like a month and a half, I think, and then we traveled for another 2 months. Sorry, not 2 months. Shit, I wish. We were traveling for another 2 weeks. Okay. So yeah, we went to Oahu, which is where the farm was, and we were there for probably like that month and a half, and then we went to Maui because our friend's mom's partner's sister lives there, so we were able to stay with them, and it was like super like holy shit, like damn, like we can just stay with them. Like I don't know, it was just such like a things are working out for us. And then we went to Kauai because everyone says go to Kauai, and I highly recommend going to Kauai. There's a lot of hippies that live there, so if you're a hippie, I recommend.
You're a tree hugger?
Yep. They have like hippie parties on the beach too.
Hippie parties?
Yes, hippie parties.
Everybody's like taking acid and mushrooms.
Literally.
Sounds like my type of party.
Yeah, it was amazing. It was such a beautiful, and it's the place holds this really intense energy, like at least from what I experienced and what my friends experience. Like sometimes we'd go into the forest and then we'd smoke, and then we'd just be like, yo, is this weed laced? Like we literally thought that our weed was laced, because like we would just be like, holy shit, like this is so beautiful. We thought we were tripping, like like seriously. And I think it was just like the energy of being in the forest, surrounded by the trees,
all that life,
nature, all that life. And like obviously, like first of all, I think we feel that when you smoke, you feel very connected to like yourself and like
Yeah.
everything around you as well, especially when you're outdoors. So it was just incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible.
I'm jealous. I'm very
Don't be, you
jealous.
just gotta do it for
I
yourself.
will. Hopefully one day. I was planning on whooping and then the pandemic happened, so I had to
Oh,
cancel it.
damn. Yeah. Classic pandemic. But I mean, you're still young. And
You
even if
already
you're
know.
not young, you can go.
Yeah.
But it's I think the traveling is better when you're young, probably.
I bet the
Like,
food on the farm was really good too.
ooh, it was good. We also like made food ourselves, and we like a lot of people would come and bring like different things from their farms that they've grown and like give it to each other. I really love that community aspect of like everyone kind of knows each other and everyone helps each other out. And let's say like okay, so the farm that we were staying at, they made yurts. Like, you know what a yurt is? It's kind of like a teepee tent, but it's more like structured. Like you can actually live in a yurt, and it's like a, I don't know, it kind of looks like like a dome at the top, and then it goes down like this.
Yeah.
But it's like very tense vibes. So they would sell those, and they had a friend, and he had like a fruit tree farm. So they gave him a yurt, and he just gave them a bunch of trees in exchange
That's
for the
cool.
yurt. So I love that. It's kind of like, it's like that trading, like you're not trading
Mhm.
money, you're trading like
Things that actually
your
exist.
goods, exactly, things that actually exist. So that was really dope. It definitely also another opening mindset of, damn, like people can just be like so sustainable. Like
Yeah.
they use solar power. They had like a water reserve, like where they collected
That's
rainwater,
awesome.
and that was the water that they
That's
used.
really awesome.
They had compostable toilets. Like it was just so cool. Yeah, it's weird, but it's
Interesting.
cool. Like, like all of your waste just goes back into the earth the way it's supposed to happen. So it was really, really cool.
That's awesome. That's so awesome.
Yeah.
I'm glad you got to have that experience.
Thank you. Me too. It was magical.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So where else have you been?
And then for my solo travels, I've gone to, okay, so I did India, and then I went, and like, so I was staying in India for the most part, doing a volunteer program.
How's the food there?
It's my favorite food.
Do they have chicken tikka masala there?
Yes.
I didn't know if that was just like an American thing.
No. Oh my god, it's so good. Like tikka masala is my life.
Dude, I have to eat that like once a week.
Oh, me
It's
too.
so good.
Me
like
too.
there's an Indian buffet nearby.
Spice?
Yes.
Yes. It's
dude.
right across the street from my house.
Oh my god.
I love it.
Oh, I fucking love chicken tikka masala.
It's so fucking good.
It's my favorite food.
Yes.
Yeah.
Me too. For me, it's paneer tikka, but
What is that?
paneer is like I'm pretty sure it's goat. They always say it's goat cheese, but it doesn't taste like goat cheese, so it confuses me when they say goat cheese. But I think it's like a form of goat cheese, but it kind of looks like a tofu cube.
Yeah.
It's so freaking good.
Are you vegetarian?
No. I just like paneer.
Okay.
I don't know. I've just always like ate it and enjoyed it, so I just stuck to it.
But the food there, like.
Oh my god! One time I took this bus, and it was a public bus. It was nothing fancy, but we were going to somewhere like far away. Like it was like probably like a 5. It was either 5. It was 5 to 10 hours of bus ride, and there was just like a stop along the way, and they just gave us food, and it was like this giant plate of rice and like chickpea curry and just like all these things, and it was literally like a plate the size of my face full of food, and it was just there for you. It was so cool. Like people were so nice there, like from what I experienced, for the most part. Yeah, for the most part. There were some not so great times, obviously, it happens, but for the most part, like everyone's so welcoming and excited that you enjoy their culture. And I really tried to like be as like I don't know, like I wanted to be like in it, I wanted to understand and learn about it and talk to Indian people and like see what they were like. And I would get invited into homes and have like chai with them. And I don't know, the school that I was volunteering at, the principal of the school, she took me to her hometown to stay with her sister.
That's cool.
And like I was just like staying like with a whole ass Indian family in India. Like it was just like,
that's awesome.
Holy, what is happening to me right now?
Yeah.
But it was so cool to experience. So I recommend that place. so much if you're trying to have like a total mind change, because the way of life there is so different, and it just like appears very different, like just like if you're just on the street, this looks so different. They have beautiful nature. There's a lot of litter, unfortunately, but
Yeah, so many people.
exactly, there's lots of people, but you know, like it's not the best because a lot of people are impoverished, but it's also like, damn, there's so many opportunities to make connections with all of these people. So, you know, I think it just has its pros and its cons, but yeah, it's a beautiful, beautiful, magical, colorful place that I recommend everyone goes to if you got the balls. You need to have some balls to go there though.
Why?
I don't know. I just think if you have to be ready for that type of like change.
I
Like,
want
I'm
that
telling
change.
you,
I want
like,
to see that.
yeah,
you know?
yeah, definitely. Yeah, I know, and I recommend it, and I feel like you'd love it. I just you just got to be ready to experience something totally different, like totally.
I like being
different.
uncomfortable.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it makes you the most uncomfortable you've ever been. I mean, at least like, I don't know. As someone that grew up in Miami, I was like, holy crap, I have never seen someplace like this before.
Yeah.
But it was super, super cool.
Okay.
Highly enjoyed.
Man. Hawaii, India, and then Japan, you
Yes,
said?
I went to Japan also because I was already over there, and I got the
This is
opportunity
expensive,
to
though.
go. Oh, it was definitely expensive. It was definitely expensive. I worked some, and then thankfully my parents were supportive and they helped me out as well. And I was like, thank you. I love you guys. Thank you for supporting my dreams, because like, I don't know, like not everyone can have that. So it made me feel really like, I don't know, like it just there was no reason for me to not like take life by the balls basically at that point, because I knew that like I had everything in my hands to make it happen. I just had to go out and make it happen.
Yes.
So but like I don't want to make it seem like traveling like that is not doable. You just have to like obviously
ready
like,
for anything.
get ready. Yeah, like save, go backpacking, like you know, that's what I did. I stayed at hostels, I ate food on the street, like I was like you know, I was doing my best. Like there was one weekend where literally I went to like this temple place, and I stayed there for free. They gave me food there. Like I didn't pay like a cent except for like the ride there and back. Like it was just it's so interesting, like what you can find and the opportunities that will come to you when you like kind of like rough it, I guess, when you're not trying to seek commodities and when you're really just trying to make yourself uncomfortable. But yeah, Japan is cool. It was very different from India.
Japan's like my like top. I was planning on moving there like before I went to college. I wanted to teach English like we did in India.
Really? That's super cool.
Yeah, but I decided not to. My parents were different than yours in the sense that like my parents were so worried. They were just like, we can't let him go, like we have to protect him. That's why I wanted to move to UCF, because I was like, I need to thrive, I need to grow like a flower. You know, like a flower doesn't grow if it's just like covered by a dome.
No.
So like I'm traveling this year for like the first time on my own to DC.
Yes. Hey, yeah. Are you going to visit someone, or are you just gonna go solo?
Well, I'm going for a concert. Rage Against the Machine and Run the Jewels are like performing.
Okay.
Like right across from the White House.
Dope.
So like I need that political energy.
Yes,
but,
give it to me.
Yeah.
That's super interesting.
I'm planning on going to Japan sometime in like 2020s.
Oh, you should. You should.
I'm trying to be on a plane like once or twice a year.
Definitely.
Because I feel like that encourages me to like travel.
Definitely.
Yeah, or like leave the state once a year at least.
Yeah, I think that's a great goal to achieve, because even in the States there's so many cool things to go see.
Yeah, a lot of natural parks.
Oh, so many. And it's just crazy how like they're like actually like truly preserved pieces of land that were made. Like I watched this documentary on national parks, and they were literally made to be protected so that the people of America could experience the glory and the wonder of the American continent.
That's a really beautiful continent.
It is. Like it has everything that you could ever ask for. Like there's all types of scenery, all types of environmental factors. I don't know, but like it's just so beautiful. And I don't know, like personally, I was always like, ugh, I don't want to travel America. Why would I stay in America? Like, ew,
Exactly.
fuck America. But no, like you can't be hating on a whole ass like piece of land because
Yeah.
you don't necessarily love like
The
like
culture.
the culture, the social political aspects of it. So yeah, that's a good goal.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do that too.
Hell yeah.
Must travel
Yeah.
at least once a year
Yeah.
somewhere not in Florida.
Okay, but and then I'm gonna have to backtrack to Japan though.
Okay,
so
okay, go
I
for
still
it.
am so curious.
Do
Like,
you have any questions about it?
just like what about Japan? Like,
It's so clean.
I've heard
It's so clean. Oh my
the
god.
food. Do you have a sushi?
Of course, but the thing is that they don't do sushi like sushi rolls. They do like sashimi mostly. So
Mm-hmm.
it's just like the rice, the fish on top.
Yeah.
I think that sushi like rolls are more of like a I don't know if it's like an Americanized thing, but it's not as traditional. But the food there was really good from what I experienced. I'm obsessed with matcha, so I had matcha
Thank God you're a
everywhere.
normal human being.
It's so fucking good.
I love
I
matcha.
had matcha pancakes. I had
Matcha
ice cream.
pancakes?
I had matcha ice cream. I had matcha mochi. I had matcha. I don't know, tea. Duh.
Oh my
I have
God.
matcha everything. I'm telling you, like
Oh.
and like I love like if you go to the 7-Elevens there, they have like the best like little pastries and stuff like that. Like it's super beautiful, super clean. I remember one time I left early in the morning to go explore, and like I guess like the cleaning people were still out, and so there was this guy with like those pickup thingies, you know?
Yeah, to pick up
And-
trash.
Yeah. And he picked up like this speck of trash that was probably this big. It was this big, a little piece of paper, this big, and he picked it up. They put it in the bag. And I was like with a friend that I met there, and we both looked at each other like,
That's
just
crazy.
picked up the tiniest piece of trash. Like they're so about like having a clean environment, everything being aesthetically pleasing, everything having a purpose.
Mm.
And I love that about the place. Like it was so graceful yet and elegant. Like that's the best way I would explain it. Graceful and elegant. The only thing, because of course I'm gonna have some, there's cons about everything. The only thing for me was that it's a very strict place. Like there's a lot of like regulations and a little bit more free and wild. So like I don't love regulations. Like I was trying to talk to my friend on the phone on the bus, and the bus driver told me to get off the phone because I'm not allowed to talk on the phone on the bus. Because so like everyone's very courteous of each other there, which is beautiful. Love that. But I don't know, it was a little too much for me. I was like, I'm from America. I thought I could talk on the phone like it was normal.
Yeah.
Like you've seen the things that people do on the bus in America. So like it was just interesting. It was interesting to see and like seeing all like the school kids walking in their straight lines.
Yeah. Was it easy to find your way around? Like, did you know the language at all?
No, I didn't. I just kind of like figured it out. I would either like use Google Translate. Google has this thing where I think it's Google Translate or something with Google Translate, but basically like you like take a picture of something or you just like hover your camera on top of it. Let's say like a menu that's in like Japanese, and then it'll like translate it to you in English like on the spot. Like the words will literally change.
Wow.
It's crazy. It's really crazy. I found out about it there because I was like, I can't read this menu.
Yeah.
But no, unfortunately, I just wasn't there long enough. I don't think to pick up many things.
How long were you there?
I was only there for like a week.
That's not bad.
So yeah. So I was just like trying to explore as much as I could. It was very like me and myself when I was in Japan. Just lots of connecting, being to myself, lots of walking. But
Where else have you been?
and then I also went to Australia in that same trip. And because I met friends from Australia in India, like yeah, they were Australian, so I met them in India. So I was like, y'all, can I come to your house? And they said yes. So I went to their house and I just hung out with them there, and it was amazing. It was really cool, like to see. I don't know, like I think I need more. I need to go back and like experience more and see what it's like over there, like more in like the nature aspects, because I was more like city bound. But I did go snorkeling at the Great Barrier Reef, which was one of like my main goals at the time. Like at that time it was like my top two things were Barrier Reef and go to Japan, and I did both of them, and I was like, yay! That was like I love like achieving goals like that because I'm just like, damn, I can do anything I put my mind to.
Mm-hmm.
Just gotta have some diligence.
Yeah.
So yeah, Australia was cool. I still need to go back and see what else is going on over there. But yeah, I don't know. It was just a very different type of cultures, like that I
So
saw
many
all
like
at
culture
once.
shocks.
Oh yeah, all of them. Like it was almost like so culture shock that I didn't feel the shock. I
Yeah.
was just kind of like, okay,
Absorbing it all like a sponge.
exactly. Like this is just what it is, and I'm experiencing it, and I just have to adapt to my environment.
Yeah.
Like even seeing like the way like your style changes when you're in the different places was really interesting to me.
Where else have you been?
Aside from well, okay, so then I also went to Nepal when I was there because like Nepal is right next to India. So it was literally like a 45-minute flight. So it was, or like an hour or something. So that was really cool to like just like hop into Nepal. Nepal is really cool. It's kind of like Indian-esque, but a little bit more chill from what I experienced. And then other than that, like I've been to Europe when I was like 15. I did like a because I was like my 15 because I'm like Colombian, so you know like 15 is like a big age. So I did like a tour with like this group of like people. Like it was
In
like
Europe?
in Europe. So like it was like we went like around Europe like as like a 15 trip, and it was just like me and other girls that were 15. So that was really cool. I don't remember that much of that trip, honestly. Like it was like kind of long ago. Like I have some memories, but and then obviously I've been to Colombia because I'm from there. My family's from there. Yeah, I've done a little bit here and there, like you know, like islands, like Bahamas and stuff like that. But I definitely have just touched on like my most memorable, like these are like core memories in my life. Like we'll never forget these moments.
I'm excited to start traveling more.
Yes, I'm excited for you.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see you out there in the world, like
There's
living
so
your
much to
best
see,
life.
man. Like,
Yes.
I feel like that's one thing I need to work on is like I spend a lot of money on like little things, but if I save up, like I really could travel easily.
Definitely.
Like I know parents that go to like a dinner and spend like $200 like every other week. And then like, yeah, we can't afford to travel, but I'm like, what if you didn't go out to dinner for like 2 months? That'd be like what's two, like eight. No, wait, no, I'm terrible at math.
$1,600.
$1,600. Yes, thank you.
$1,600. That's
Thank
a
you
whole
for saving
trip.
my ass.
I got you. That's a whole trip.
I
At least half
know.
of a trip.
I know.
Like if you're trying to do it fancy, but like you can go somewhere in South America for a week with that money.
I know.
That face.
I'm going to South America.
You should.
Yeah. I found a job opportunity in Ohio. So if I get that job and I can go down to South America.
Oh, you really
Like,
you should go to Colombia. It's
I've heard.
beautiful. It's a gorgeous.
Yeah.
Or Costa Rica. I've never been there, but I would love to go to Costa Rica. It looks like paradise. I was
Yeah.
gonna say magical again, but paradise.
Yeah.
Oh my god, like the pictures I've seen, I'm like,
Costa Rica is awesome. Yeah.
it is. And you can do
There's so much to see in the world.
So
and I feel like I've been like, I don't know, in America at least, I feel like we're kind of conditioned to like limit ourselves to like what's around us and not think of like other cultures as like enticing.
Definitely.
Like obviously it's like enticing, but we're not like encouraged like go travel and like go by yourself and see what it's like.
The world, everyone's just kind of like, you're in the best place you could possibly be.
Yeah.
Why would you want to go anywhere else?
Exactly. Yeah.
But like, there's so much to see out there. There's a whole world to experience, different cultures, different people, different lifestyles. Like, it's definitely has to be done. It's got to be done. I can't wait for you to travel.
Yeah,
it's gonna be cool.
You inspired me.
Yeah, that makes me happy to hear. Because like honestly, like that's what I want. Like whenever I share like traveling stories, that's like what I most want to do. Like get so excited that it makes people excited. Like get so excited about my stories that it makes people excited to want to have their own like versions of these stories. Because like I said, like these are things that are gonna go with you forever.
Yeah.
And then you're gonna do shit that you would have never imagined you would do in your fucking life. Like you will get into cars with strangers. Don't recommend getting to cars with strangers, but get into cars with strangers. If they're not too creepy.
Okay.
But like getting into cars with strangers, going and staying at someone's house that like is the principal of the sister's principal. Like, you know, like stuff like that. Like it's just it will really push you out to do things that you never in your life thought you would do or experience or encounter. Yeah, and you'll unlock a lot of characters. That's
I'm
for
excited.
sure. So, yay! I can't wait for you.
Me too. Antonia, it's been amazing having you on the podcast.
Oh, it's been amazing to be here.
I've enjoyed all of your stories. I've enjoyed talking about so many things with you.
Oh, thanks. It was an amazing time.
Before we go, do you want to show anything else to the people? Do you want to tell people where they can find you?
Okay. Yeah.
Anything last minute?
Well, my Instagram for my jewelry biz and stuff like that is at TREEHUGGERS by AG. Boom. TREEHUGGERS by AG. And yeah, that's basically where you'll find me. I have an email for TREEHUGGERS, but I don't really use it. So Instagram is the best way to catch me. If I don't answer in a few days, I'll come back to you eventually, I promise. I forget about it. So I try not to though. And yeah, like, I don't know if you ever want a cute little necklace, if you ever want a cute little print, I'm all here for it. Like, oh, other way. Other side. That's upside down. There you go. Yes, I even do like little macrame moments, little. So yeah, if you're ever digging a crystal, let me know. And it's all unique, one of a kind. And if you ever just want to talk to me, ask me questions, I'll be here to talk about it. So yeah, that's all.
Last question I have.
Okay.
A little fun thing. If you could see one band live,
Alive or dead?
yeah, who would you want to see?
I'm in between two, so I'm gonna say both. My instinct is always to say Led Zeppelin. I fucking love them. I think they're so good. And I just wish I was like in the late 60s. Like, oh, I don't wish I was in the late 60s because bad times. But I wish I could just travel there for like a week or two, or maybe a little bit long, like a month. Like, you know, like a little vacation, and just like go to a Led Zeppelin concert, like do some mushrooms, like just be like, give me all of your love, give me my love. And yeah, and just like experience that hippie lifestyle. And then I would also say the Beatles, but same thing.
A little classic vibe.
Exactly. Give me a
Okay.
little, yeah, love them.
Good choices. Very good choices.
Thank you.
Hell yeah.
Hey, how about you?
Alive or dead?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I've already seen a lot of the bands I want to see, and I'm seeing Nine Inch Nails in April, which I'm really excited for. I'm seeing Rage Against the Machine in August. So if I had to pick another, I feel like I've seen all the bands I want to see, and I'm seeing them all, like the other ones I haven't seen this year. But if I had to pick another band or like group, Jimi Hendrix.
Good choice.
Jimi Hendrix at Woodstock in 1969.
Oh my god, that would have been crazy.
Like
You would have been like rolling in the
playing
mud.
the national anthem on his guitar. I don't know if you've seen
Crazy.
that.
Yes, of course I have.
Like, gangster.
Oh my god,
Absolutely
that's next
insane.
level.
Yeah.
Next level. One time I was listening to it in my room, like for like a school thing, and my roommate was like, "Girl, can you turn that off? What are you listening to right now?"
The national fucking anthem.
That's the national anthem.
Yeah. Where's your patriotism?
Yeah. No, it's a good choice. Love that for you.
Yeah.
One day, if time travel exists, we'll be able to accomplish these dreams.
Honestly, with the way technology is looking, you're probably gonna be able to put on a headset and you're there.
Oh my god.
I don't know if I like that though. It's gonna be like.
I want to like actually be in there though.
Yeah, exactly. I want to be there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, if that's the only way I'll experience it, then put me in the VR
Yeah.
set. Honestly. As long as I don't get lost in there.
Well, thank you again. And definitely check out her Instagram. Buy some cool crystals and shit. And we will see you all very soon. Should we say Hare Krishna?
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Take care, everybody. Stay safe. And if World War III starts,
Please let us start. Let's all just meditate on the
Let's
good
meditate.
vibes. Let's meditate.
if World War III starts, just meditate.
Let's.
And it'll all end. It'll all end.
Yes.
All right, guys. Stay safe.